Hi guys, we're back. I'm Linda.
I'm Shawna.
And here we are to, I don't know, have our little talk again? Our podcast talk?
This is like the 7th one, I think. Maybe 8th.
I think it might be 8. And again, if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. And maybe follow us on Facebook or, what else did I say we're on? Instagram.
Instagram, YouTube?
Obviously, yeah, definitely YouTube. We definitely need the subscriptions on YouTube. And what's the other one?
Instagram.
TikTok.
TikTok.
TikTok. Tickety-tack. Tickety-tack.
So we are on TikTok?
We are on TikTok. TikTok. Oh my God, we suck. We're too old. Okay. Anyway, so how was your weekend? What's today? Tuesday? How was your weekend?
Fast. I don't think I did anything memorable, so.
Well, I did. We have once a month. We do a family fun night where all my kids and my grandkids, we all get together, and I usually get pizzas and hoagies or whatever, and we just eat and we laugh and watch something on TV, watch the kids play, and we did that. So that was a really good time for me. That's one of my best days of the month.
Yeah, that's nice to do it once a month.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So other than that, which was plenty, that keeps me satisfied. I can't think of what else we did. That was Saturday, and then Sunday I think I just hung out.
Oh, that's right, because our daughters hung out.
Our daughters hung out, that's right. Yeah, our daughters, Michaela and Brianna, hung out. So Sean and I just kind of
Oh, that's right, I cleaned
didn't do a whole lot of anything.
cleaned the basement.
That's right, you're cleaning your basement. How's it going?
Good, almost done, almost done.
Almost done. What are you doing with everything? Are you throwing it out?
No, some things we threw out. A lot of things I emptied bins, and I have been organized in bins now.
Nice.
So it's, more organized, and then there's a community yard sale in my neighborhood on September 13th, Saturday, and I'm going to sell some stuff. I guess I said some stuff could be sold. So
Awesome. I might come.
yeah,
Let me know.
It's nice.
As
as long as it's a nice day. If it's going to rain, I'm not doing it.
No, because then your stuff gets ruined.
Yeah,
and then nobody will go anyway. Well, there are some pickers that'll
There's
go
a lot that
in the
goes
rain.
through the neighborhood.
Yeah.
A lot.
I mean, that's the last thing I need is to,
Well,
you know what they
I
say,
know.
what do they say?
Yeah.
One man's junk is another man's treasure?
I have brand new stuff not even open,
And
I can't.
Okay, well that I might be interested in. You'll have to let me know what you have. Anyway, so remember a few weeks back, the day we did a podcast, and it was the same day I talked about my car battery dying, which it's been fine ever since. So
Right.
whatever, thank you God, but it's been fine ever since. I did go have it tested, and because I took it to Advance, and they tested it and they said it's perfectly fine. So I don't know what that was, just another blip, like I said, in Linda Land. You never know. But I also talked about the fact that we had been filming on my phone, and I mean, thus far, every video we shoot just like puts me closer and closer to the edge, like wanting to say, I'm done, I'm not doing it anymore. Like, I can't take it. It's humbling to see yourself when you think you might look okay or not too bad, and then you see yourself anyway. So we had been filming with either Michaela's phone, we filmed one I think with your phone, which I actually liked, that video. And then we had been filming with my camera phone, which is okay, but it's just not meant for that. And I had this really nice camera, this Sony CyberShot that I bought years and years ago, and it had a video feature. So I was like, okay, so I ordered the little battery, I ordered the charger, yada, yada, yada. And it wasn't holding a charge, because remember I told you about it. I said, it's not holding a charge. Okay. So I give it to Brianna, who does all my technical stuff, because I am very technologically challenged.
Yeah.
Very, very technologically challenged. So I give it to my 24-year-old daughter, who is, extremely technologically inclined. And I'm like, look, this isn't working. Can you order me a new battery or a new charger or something? She's like, all right, I'll take care of it. So I don't even know what I was doing, but she calls me into her room, I don't know, maybe an hour later, and she's like, Mom. She gets very frustrated with me. And I feel like saying, you know what, don't make fun of me. I taught you how to use a spoon. But at the same time, I let it go. So she's like, Mom, how are you charging the battery? And I swear to God, I wish I could show you, because it's this little square thing, and then the battery's square, and you take it and you stick it in and you kind of like push it down a little bit, and it kind of clicks, and then you plug it in the wall. And it looked like it was in the right way. There's even a little arrow on the bottom of it. I'm like, okay, nope, I was charging it completely wrong. Completely wrong. That's why it wasn't holding a charge.
Oh.
And she's like, Mom, you have to line up the silver dots with the silver. And I thought that when I did it, I thought this doesn't look right. But it looked right, you know, visually when so I thought I was doing it right. Here I wasn't. So there was nothing wrong with the charger or the battery. They're both perfect. So now we are back to using the Sony CyberShot camera. So let's see what that, I can't wait to see what this video is going to look like. But at any rate, it was not, there was nothing wrong with it. It was just me, once again, with my technologically challenged mind. The whole thing of it is, when it's being charged correctly, when she showed me how to put it in, it doesn't look right. It looks like it's in upside down and backwards and everything else. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, my phone's here. So we're not going to use that. Bree's going to snap some behind-the-scenes shots maybe. But anyway, so then, speaking of my camera phone, so Brianna and I went to see an Elvis impersonator the other night.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
That's what we did.
Friday
Friday night. And he was really good. His name's
Friday, yeah.
Bruno Nessie is his name. Really, really cute kid. Really, really does a good job. He's not a kid. Everybody's a kid to me. So I'm taking video of him because he's really good. And Brianna's watching me, and here for like the past few weeks, and I've taken video on my phone before, so I don't know what's happening. But she's watching me, and she's like, Mom, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because I had been telling her, I'm taking video, and they're disappearing. Like, they're not on my phone. I don't even remember what she said I was doing. I think I'm hitting record, and then instead of hitting stop, hitting pause or something. I think that's how she said it. And then the videos just kind of, I don't even know why they're disappearing, but they're disappearing. So
you don't get
she sees me doing that, so she fixes that. So there's my technologically challenged poor brain again at work. So I was screwing up the video. I screwed up the battery. But that's me. What are you gonna do?
Well,
do you do stuff like that? Are you video challenged? I can't even talk. Are you technologically as challenged as I am?
I make no mistakes.
You make no mistakes. Okay.
Yes, I do it all the time.
Okay. Yeah.
So all the time.
But we're in the age, like I remember when I first got an email. I still have the same email account, my very first one from AOL. I still have it. That's when people made up like funky names, strange names. And it took me 25 minutes to come up with my mama name.
Yeah,
the one I still use. And I still use it. And that was, oh my gosh, at least 20, I think it was maybe before I had Brianna. I don't even know.
Yeah, I think it's been a while.
So we're there, and like I said, I had a MySpace, and I was good at that, and it was really cute, but I don't know, it just seems like maybe it's menopause again. I blame everything on menopause. Is there anybody else that does that, that's our age? Do you blame every issue? I blame everything on menopause. I blame my thinning hair on menopause. All of it. The lack of sleep, like waking up in the middle of the night, but I think that's like a real thing. Like I think menopause can really cause you to wake up.
My sleeping habits are terrible anymore. I used to go to sleep and stay asleep all night.
Yeah. Right.
Now I go to sleep maybe for an hour, then I'm up at least for another 1 or 2 hours, tossing and turning and snoring.
I haven't.
Everybody up.
Everybody up, that bad.
Well, my daughter has a sound machine.
Okay.
So she blasts it.
Okay.
So it drowns me out.
So okay.
I don't know. I don't hear it.
You don't ever wake yourself up like I told you I did with the snort? You never do that. I have done that more, and like I said, I don't snort.
No, I have done that before, but now, it's, but it just, I don't hear it. I'm thinking, how can I, and if they tell me I'm snoring, I'm like, how can I be talking to you? I'm not even sleeping.
So you're
out of it.
Sleep talking. You do fall asleep very quickly.
Yes, I do.
You do. When Shawna, I hit on this last week. I'm sorry, my eyes are watering because...
Oh, yeah, I was talking to you one time on the phone and I fell asleep.
Yes.
Years ago.
One time. She would come to my house to visit me, just to hang out. Now, this was before she had her second child, and I still had, I had my Brianna, because they're about 8 years apart, our two youngest. And she'd come like, oh, I want to come home and hang out for... She would literally come in, play with Brianna for a half hour. You know, we'd have some tea. Next thing you know, she'd be sitting on my love seat or couch. Next thing you know, she'd be lying on my love seat or couch. Next thing you know, she'd be snoring on my love seat or couch.
I don't remember that.
And would be... You don't remember? And would be talking, and there she'd be. And I'd be like, Nani. And I'd just let you sleep because you did work a lot at the time. You did do 40-hour work weeks at the time.
Probably more.
Maybe more. And you did get up super early.
Yes.
So, because I think you guys did 410s, which meant you had to be there. So I would just let her sleep. She would just lay and sleep instead of us, you know, we'd get to visit a little bit.
I always said I could fall asleep on a rock outside. Don't matter.
Oh, I can fall asleep. I can't stay asleep. Like, I can literally, those memes you see where I can send you a text at 9, you know, you can text me at 9:49, I can text you back and then be sleeping. That's me.
Yeah, that's me.
I literally can fall asleep in half a second, but I don't stay asleep, and that's what's bad.
That has definitely changed in the past year.
That's what's bad.
And just only in the past year.
So it's not just the sleep, and then it's my hair, and I don't. It's not that bad. People say, "Oh, you have so much hair." I don't have as much as I used to. My hair used to be.
Thick hair.
It's not though. It's not, Sean. I try to puff it up, and
you wouldn't know the difference just by feel.
That's what I'm saying though, but it's not. Like when I run my fingers through it, and I think it just doesn't have that. Brianna used to laugh at me because I would put it up in this little tiny messy bun on top of my head that would be about that big, and then I would pull it down to go to sleep at night, and she'd be like, how did you get all that hair up into that little bun? She used to call me Diana Ross because it was poof, you know, like a babushka head. And now, I mean, and it had me thinking the other day, do you remember the time, you surely you're going to remember this, we go to Twin Lakes. I think our husbands at the time were fishing with our kids, our first set of kids. We have sets of kids. Yeah. Our first set of kids. And so you and I decide, Twin Lakes is a beautiful, it's two lakes. There's one like kind of up and then down. Like it's, I don't even know how you would describe the, is it topography of that? How did they do that?
Probably.
They're probably man-made lakes, correct?
I think so, yeah.
So it's this beautiful area in Westmoreland County, in western Pennsylvania where we are, for all the folks watching all over the world. For all the folks watching, you know. Anyway, it's a beautiful park, and they have festivals there and things like that, but it has two separate lakes. One is up high and one is a little bit lower, and you can walk around both of them, and they're beautiful paths. So Sean and I decided we're going to go walking, and this was a very long time ago. We both had a lot more hair, and even longer. Shauna's hair used to be down to her bum, and it was incredibly, it was tons of it. It would, when she would go get a perm, they would have to piggyback wrap it because there was so much of it.
I only had that once.
I thought you always had to piggyback wrap.
No, but I mean, I only had.
You only had a perm once. Remember, it was gorgeous. It looked like Cher's. It looked like Cher's hair when she was done. Just incredible. So anyway, we decided we're going to take this walk, and we're walking along, and I always had to struggle to keep up with her because every 3 steps equals Shauna's 1 because I'm only 5'3" and she's, you 5'10"? You still 5'10"? You sure about that? Okay. You don't look like you're 5'10" anymore. But
What's it look like I'm 6 feet now?
No, littler. Like maybe 5. Like we shrink. You know, you shrink when you get older. You know. And if I shrink, I'm in big trouble. But unless it's weight wise, I can shrink weight wise. Like my butt can shrink. My boobs can shrink. Anyway, so we're trucking along. And I look at Shawna, and I'm always behind her. I'm always say to her, slow down, wait. And I see, I guess it was a daddy long-legger. And how I even saw it on that unbelievable head of hair of yours, I don't know. But it was like kind of on her hair. Like it must have fallen from the tree or something.
Oh yeah, a lot of the trees.
And I'm like, and I remember saying, do you remember it?
Yes.
And I said, oh my God, don't move. What does she do? What? I'm like, there's a spider on your hair. She lets out this blood-curdling scream that probably sent park rangers just running from every direction. And she goes, what? All this hair goes flying. What does she takes off running.
Like I'm running from
like she's running from the spider that's actually on her hair. And here's me with my corgi legs. Wait! Trying to catch up with her, literally, you know, my legs are like that long, and her giraffe legs, and she's moving like the Bionic Woman, and there I am, you know, like the Bugs Bunny in the tortoise commercial. Do-dee-do-dee-do. There's me, and she's gone, like just. Finally, you know, half a mile down the path, I catch up with her. She's still squealing and screaming, and I'm literally pulling her hairs apart one by one to make sure the spider was gone. But it was gone at that point. I think you scared it.
Yeah.
I literally think you scared it because you took off running.
I screamed so loud.
You did.
It jumped right off of me.
You did. You screamed like a banshee. I'll never forget it.
I remember that.
You should remember
because
that.
That's, oh, no.
And we were sober. We talked a lot last episode about the fact that we drank a lot. But yeah, we were sober at that point, and that, so yeah, that was our hair story. That was crazy. I was going to talk about, what was I going to talk about? The battery's fine. Speaking of our kids, we might as well hit on that a little bit. The fact that, how old were you when you had your first, because I said we were going to talk about this, I think, on the first show, and I had people actually message me and say they have had spans between their kids, and then we never did it. So, how old were you when your son came, which was your first child?
16. I was 16 with my son.
When he was born, you were 16.
I was 16.
Okay, you were 16.
I had just turned 16.
Okay. And then when you had Michaela?
I had just turned 40.
Okay. So that's a span. That's what, 26?
24 years.
Oh, 16. I'm thinking 14, yeah. So 24 years. And that's her span between her two blessings, her children. Mine is, it's kind of big, but it's not that. I don't know that there's a lot of people that could beat that. I think there's plenty of women who can say they've had children at 16 and at 40. Like people with just those huge families like the Duggars and all them. But I don't know that there's any that can say they've only had children at 16 and 40. That's what's remarkable about it. Because I just turned 17 when I had my first Bonnie, and I had my son 14 months later and was just turned 18. So I had two babies at 18 in diapers. And then I didn't have Brianna until I was 32.
Still 32 is young.
So 18 to 32 was my span.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty good span.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good span. About 15 years.
Right.
Is that right? Am I doing the math right? Yeah, that's right. So,
but I think a lot of our girls in our group when we went to high school with, like we weren't the only ones. There's like almost all of us had children.
Oh, to have
babies
young? Oh, yeah, absolutely. We all did. Because I remember somebody saying at one point, was there a pregnancy pack? Because I think they did a stupid, one of those after school specials.
Yes,
I remember
that. I remember that.
And I think, and there wasn't a pregnancy pack.
No.
It just,
that's how it happened.
They called it an epidemic at the time. I think that's when it got really bad. When in like early to mid 80s is when the teen pregnancy, it just exploded.
Yeah.
And we just happened to.
I have children every quarter century. Obviously I'm done.
I mean, and I talked about it before, and I wouldn't give up anything for my kids. I do wish I could have had them. I wish Bonnie and Bobby could have been born to me when I was older, more established, but it wouldn't be Bonnie and Bobby, and I understand all that, but that's my only regret, is that they didn't get they didn't get the same mom that Brianna got. Now I also have regrets but Brianna didn't get the same mom they got. The younger mom who was, more, now I did do a lot with her. We had a pool and I swam with her all the time, but there's a lot of differences between the two of them. Now, yours is really a big span. So do you feel that way? Do you feel like you wish Keith could have gotten to have the same mom that Michaela has? Or do you like the fact that, would you rather have KK have the same mom Keith had as far as you were younger? And I mean, God, you were a baby. We were both babies.
No, because even at 40, I was you know, still doing everything that I did when I was younger, honestly. But yeah, more patience maybe, you know, and
but physically, you had a really good pregnancy, like it was good for you?
So super easy. I actually, honest to God, it was easier at 40 than it was at 16.
Wow.
Because my body was probably more mature. I walked to work almost to the day I had Michaela. I recovered way faster.
And you had cesarean.
Both cesareans.
Both both times.
I was up and walking as soon as I had her.
God bless you, because that's incredible.
It was easier.
That's incredible.
Honest to God, it was easier.
That's really incredible. But you were also so active. But at 16, you were active. You were always active, kid, because we used to walk to each other's homes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, okay,
yeah,
I'm leaving now.
Remember when you gave me that little knife to walk home with?
I do remember.
It was a little tiny pocket knife this big that couldn't cut. I went to cut, I said, oh, I'll use this. I had a string to cut it off, and it wouldn't even cut the string off. My jean jacket.
Even then.
What kind of protection is this you sent me home with? Walking down Barnes Lake Road at nighttime by myself.
Oh, man. Even then, I was your protector. I was trying to be, I was always the motherly figure. Like, we would go out drinking. I was the one who, you know, was always trying to make sure everything was okay. And
right.
Nobody was, you know, so, yeah. I was trying to keep you safe. I guess a little pinky pocket knife.
Yeah, remember I gave it to you back to school when we got back to school on Monday, and I said, here, take this. I said, because it won't even cut melted butter. I mean, what am I supposed to protect with that?
I tried.
But thank goodness I didn't need it.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
Was, still the thought that counts.
It was the thought, because I loved you and I wanted you to be safe. So, but as far as your pregnancies, so obviously I remember with Keith. I remember that one you swelling up. I remember because you were 16 and we didn't know. We didn't know
my
about.
ankles were swelling.
I remember that.
Nothing.
But did you have cravings with Keith that you remember that you didn't with Michaela, or vice versa? Because of that span, that huge span. Your body's changed so much in those 25 years.
Honestly, both pregnancies were just easy.
And no cravings in particular, nothing nuts.
No. With my daughter, I had cravings just for ice cream, which I'm not an ice cream person.
No.
But I wanted ice cream every day.
That's weird because
Frank's Red Hot.
Red Hot. That's what I was gonna say. I could have sworn there was a Red Hot.
Frank's Red, and I didn't get no
heartburn.
No, nothing ever. I mean, I literally was drinking bottles a week on everything.
Now, does Michaela like Red Hot?
Not really. She'll use it on some things, but she's not a big.
She's not. She's our videographer. She's shaking her head now. She doesn't. Brianna loves Red Hot, so there you go. There's the connection right there.
Frank's Red Hot. That's
okay,
because I can do. That's as far as I can do.
Well, mine is more interesting than now. With Bonnie, my first when I was 16, I craved, and we're going back now. This is 1986, so people who know I don't do fast food and I don't eat junk. Don't come at me because this was, a long time ago. This was almost 40 years ago. I was addicted to, I don't know if everybody knows what Long John Silver's is, but it was a fish chicken joint. And I went crazy over chicken planks. They're chicken planks. I was never a big fish person, but they used to have what they called chicken planks, and they had a pirate's dozen. I think you got 13. That's why they called it a pirate's dozen, like a baker's dozen.
Yes.
And I would send my daughter Bonnie's dad 2 Long Johns at least 2 or 3 times a week. And I would eat them myself. I would eat all 13 of them.
Whoa.
Yeah. Not at one sitting, but throughout the day. I just was crazy about these chicken
planks. I could eat it throughout the day. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then when I got pregnant with Bobby, I wanted double cheeseburgers from Burger King. Please, I'm telling you, I know. I know. I hear myself and I think it. But back then, it wasn't the poison that it is now.
No, it wasn't.
There's no way. So I loved the double cheeseburgers. And we didn't have a lot of money, but things were so much cheaper then. We could still go a couple times a week. So I lived on that. Then, so that's at 17 and 18. And I remember one time when I was pregnant with Bonnie in particular, and I remember it because she was born in May. And the local restaurant around here that's called Eaton Park always does the berry pies come May. And I remember, do you remember the commercials? I think they still do them. You would see that. Thank you. You'd see this beautiful strawberry pie, And it was just big, real strawberries with probably like some kind of strawberry goop, which I never really liked the goop. And then it was in like a ready-made, it was a regular pie crust, but it was just like a real light, almost like a sugar cookie dough pie crust. And that was it. And they play these damn commercials, and there I am, you know, just as big can be. And here they come. In the merry, merry month of May. And it would actually, the little ball would bounce across the screen so you could sing along, and you'd see these One time I couldn't stand anymore. I remember I sent Bob to Eaton Park. I said, go get me a strawberry pie. I have to have a strawberry pie. And I don't even like strawberries. I like berries, but I'm not a strawberry person. I ate that whole damn pie. I ate that whole pie. I ate that whole pie. And then I wondered why I gained it like 70 pounds when I was pregnant with my first, because to me it wasn't licensed to eat. I was so young.
I wasn't.
And so immature. I thought if I was hungry, that meant the baby was hungry. And nobody ever bothered to tell me different. So anyway. So then when Brianna comes along, and I'm 32, I craved, our Dairy Queen used to have flavors. Remember, they don't have flavors anymore. They would have pumpkin and peach and lime. Sometimes they would, and they stopped doing flavors. But I was crazy about the peach. I was crazy about the pumpkin.
What, was it a shake?
Like just a soft serve. It was just a flavored, and they were off the hook good, but Dairy Queen, they stopped doing them. I don't know why they stopped doing them, because I loved them, but they stopped doing them. So that was what I craved with Brianna, and we lived very close to one, and her dad and I would walk. At least I was walking. We would walk together.
Oh, that's what it was, right down the street. Okay, yeah.
And I would walk, and I would get my ice cream, and we would walk home. So there was that, but that wasn't the only thing. I used to crave, with Brianna, I would crave Whoppers.
I knew it was Whoppers somewhere.
Whoppers, and at the time they had jalapeno poppers.
Oh, okay.
So I would crave Whoppers and poppers. There for a month.
Whoppers and poppers.
I couldn't get enough. And we lived very close. Like, we lived within minutes of Route 30, and all the fast food joints, the Dairy Queen, everything was right there. And I remember sending Brian almost daily for a few
remember
weeks.
you telling me.
And he would go to Burger King, and he would get me a Whopper with cheese, and he would give me jalapeno poppers. And this would be sometimes before he'd go to work. That was back when Burger King would give you, any time of day you could get burgers.
Right.
And he came home probably after the 4th trip. And he comes in and he has me in the bag and he's laughing. And I'm like, what? What's so funny? And he's like, Lynn, I'm there so often. And the lady at the drive-thru must have recognized him. And finally he gets up, to pick up his food. And she says to him, honey, this is not good for you. You shouldn't be eating this every day. And he laughed and he said, my wife is pregnant, ma'am. She handed him the bag and said, carry on. And off he went. Off he came home, brought me my Whoppers and poppers. I was a happy camper. And So
don't mess with a pregnant woman's cravings.
No, you
ever.
do not. Because is there any craving you could ever think of that is as satisfying as when you're pregnant? And I mean, I don't really get food cravings if I'm not pregnant, but even like if you're premenstrual or maybe having your period at the time.
I've never really had just ice cream.
Ice cream.
And I am not an ice cream person. I like ice cream, but I wanted ice cream every day. And when I went to Dairy Queen the one time when I was pregnant, it was giant. The lady made me, and I said she did that on purpose. It was the biggest blueberry sundae you've ever seen.
Oh, and that's from Dairy Queen.
Yeah, I even turned around, there was a little kid behind me, and I said she did that on purpose. I remember that like
too bad I wasn't there. You could have said, did you want some of
this? It was giant. We went before time runs out. You want to say?
Oh, I do. But then I was going to tell one more thing about Brianna. So this is the strangest thing ever, and this is God's honest truth. It's gospel truth. One day, I was probably 6-7 months pregnant. I know I had my belly, so it wasn't in early stages. And I was doing something, and I must have done something with my face, but I smelled onions on my hands, and I thought, what the? And I kept smelling, and like it was that really strong onion smell. And I remember thinking, what is that? Because I hadn't been chopping onions. I hadn't been eating onions. It was just there. So and I'm washing my hands. I can't get rid of the smell. Finally, Brian comes home, her dad comes home from work, I don't know, a couple hours later, and they still smell. He comes in the door and we greet and everything, and I said to him, hey, smell my hand. And he was laughing. What did you do? What did you do? I said, no, just, trust me, please, just smell my hand. So he takes a whiff and he's there, ooh, you chopping up. So, yeah, another blip. Such is life. Love the camera, but it shuts off after 30 minutes, so I'm going to wrap this up. So he asks me about my hand. I tell him, no, I don't touch no onions. He laughed so hard at that. It was something in my hormones that made my hand smell like onions.
Wow.
Do you know that to this day, this is when I carried Brianna, that child loves onions. I don't eat onions. I never did. I mean, I will if they're sauteed on meat, but she will eat onions on anything. Raw, cooked, it doesn't matter. She loves onions. And when I tell her the story, she always laughs and says, I was preparing you for what, for what I was going to love when I got here. Right? Come on.
Exactly how Michaela is. Because she's the ice cream person. I am not an ice cream. And she loves ice cream. I'm still not an ice cream person.
If that doesn't speak volumes for the connection,
that is crazy.
And the miracle that is a woman, what she can do with her body. She's got this separate entity, this separate human being, but yet we are so in tune with them while that's incredible. That's incredible.
That's true.
So yeah, I didn't realize KK loved ice cream, but that's pretty cool. So anyway, we're at our 30, obviously we're past our 30-minute mark because the stupid camera shut off.
Right.
We want to give a shout out to Renee.
Hi, Renee.
We went to school with her. She was one of our gang. There was about 8 of us.
We were a big gang. Woo, we were a big gang.
we were kind of big. We
had a lot of girls we hung out with.
It was a whole group. That was our gang. Yeah. She was part of it. There was about 8 or 10 of us.
There was a lot.
There was a lot, and we're still in contact with most of them. Friends on Facebook. Hopefully they're all watching. Hi, girls. If you're, put a comment in, drop a comment in the YouTube or on Facebook. But yeah, so I see Renee in Walmart the other day with her adorable daughter, who's I don't know, probably Brianna's age, one of her girls. So she's probably in her 20s. And the first thing Renee says to me is that she loves this. She loves the podcast. She loves hearing the old stories. And her daughter, who was so sweet, is just standing there smiling. And she's like, oh, I'll have to check it out. So right there in the middle of the store, I pull up my phone, I show it to her, and she subscribes right there in Walmart. So if she's watching, I don't think I caught your name, sweetheart. I'm sorry. Your mom and I were So thank you so much for subscribing. I hope you're watching. We hope you like it. But hi to Renee and her daughter. And again, if you are watching, please subscribe and help us out. Help us get our little podcast that could help get it going. But we are going to wrap it up. So that was about all we can think to talk about with the kids. But we'll probably revisit it, circle back, revisit it again. I sound like that chick who was in the White House. Circle back. I don't want to say that. Anyway, okay, guys. Everybody, our weather here is gorgeous today. Beautiful.
Phenomenal.
It really is. It's perfect. I mean, no humidity. There's this unbelievable cool breeze. It's absolutely beautiful. So we're going to go get some fresh air. And we'll start shooting outside soon. As soon as we're absolutely sure it's going to stay nice. And so, but until then, thanks again for watching. We love you. Stay safe, and we will see you soon. Take care.